Have you ever wondered why some women over 70 seem effortlessly content while others struggle with the same old patterns from their younger years? Kimberly, a 73-year-old retired teacher, discovered this truth when she realized she was still living by rules that no longer served her. And what happened next liberated her in ways she never expected. After studying lifestyle patterns among over 12,000 women aged 70 and above, researchers have uncovered 12 outdated habits that actually work against your happiness and well-being. What you're about to discover could free you from decades of unnecessary stress. I'm glad you're here because understanding what no longer serves you after 70 is something every woman deserves to know. You're not just getting that clarity. You're also learning how to replace these outdated patterns with approaches that actually enhance your life. And the insight I'll share at the end about embracing your authentic self might be the most valuable thing you hear today. Most people accept that getting older means accepting limitations, but you don't have to be most people. Watch until the end, because these revelations could transform how you approach your golden years. This could be the turning point you've been looking for. Point 1. Chasing anti-aging beauty standards. This first realization will surprise many who think they need to keep fighting the signs of aging. Meet Helen, a 71-year-old grandmother who spent hundreds of dollars each month on anti-aging creams, hair dyes, and treatments designed to make her look younger. She scheduled regular appointments for procedures she didn't enjoy and constantly worried about every new line or gray hair that appeared. Helen believed that maintaining her youthful appearance was essential for feeling confident and being accepted by others. However, all this effort was actually making her feel more anxious and less satisfied with herself than ever before. The liberating truth is that authentic beauty at 70 comes from vitality and confidence, not from trying to look like you're 50. Research from the University of California shows that women who embrace age-appropriate beauty routines report higher self-esteem and life satisfaction than those who pursue youth-focused regimens. Your radiance now comes from your wisdom, your laugh lines that show a life well lived, and the confidence that comes from knowing who you are. When you stop fighting against your natural aging process, you can focus your energy and resources on things that genuinely make you feel alive and vibrant. And how can you tell if you're still trapped in anti-aging thinking that's working against your happiness? Notice how you feel when you look in the mirror or when you're getting ready to go out. Do you spend more time covering up or hiding aspects of your appearance than celebrating what makes you feel beautiful? Perhaps you find yourself avoiding photos or social situations because you're worried about how you look, or you're spending significant money on products that promise to turn back time. You might catch yourself making negative comments about your aging appearance or feeling envious of younger women rather than appreciating your own unique beauty. The wonderful news is that redefining beauty for this stage of life can begin immediately and will likely save you both money and stress. Start by identifying what makes you feel genuinely radiant. Perhaps it's wearing colors that make your eyes sparkle, choosing comfortable clothes that fit well, or adopting a skincare routine focused on health rather than youth. Invest in experiences and activities that bring you joy, rather than products that promise impossible transformations. Focus on maintaining your health and vitality through good nutrition, movement, and activities that energize you. The beautiful result is that when you embrace your authentic appearance, you'll project the kind of confidence that's truly magnetic and inspiring to others. If you've ever noticed how some older women seem to glow with an inner light that has nothing to do with their age, you understand the power of authentic beauty. But this shift in perspective is nothing compared to what comes next. Point 2. Keeping everything just in case. This next revelation will genuinely transform how you think about your living space and peace of mind. Consider the story of Angela, a 76-year-old widow whose home had become filled with items she never used but couldn't bear to part with. Every closet was packed with clothes from decades past, every drawer contained gadgets and papers she might need someday, and every surface was covered with decorative items that no longer brought her joy. Angela felt overwhelmed in her own home, but couldn't imagine getting rid of things because they represented memories or might be useful in the future. Her cluttered environment was actually contributing to feelings of anxiety and making daily tasks more difficult. The peace-bringing truth is that physical clutter creates mental clutter, and at 70, simplicity serves you far better than accumulation. Studies published in the Journal of Environmental Psychology demonstrate that seniors living in organized, simplified environments experience lower stress levels and better cognitive function. Your brain processes visual information constantly, and when your environment is cluttered, it creates a low-level state of overstimulation that can be exhausting. By choosing to keep only items that serve a current purpose or bring genuine joy, you create space for calm and clarity in both your physical and mental environment. How do you know if clutter is negatively impacting your well-being? Pay attention to how you feel when you're in different areas of your home and how much time you spend looking for things. Do you feel overwhelmed or stressed when you open certain closets or drawers, or do you find yourself avoiding certain rooms because they feel chaotic? Perhaps you spend significant time searching for items because you have too many places where things could be stored, or you feel embarrassed about inviting people over because of the state of your home. You might notice that you're keeping items out of guilt or fear rather than because they add value to your current life. Here's the empowering reality about creating a simplified living environment that can start improving your daily life immediately. Choose one small area to focus on each week, whether it's a single drawer, a closet, or even just one category of items like books or kitchen gadgets. As you go through each item, ask yourself honestly whether it serves your current life or brings you genuine happiness. Thank the items you're releasing for their service, then donate them to someone who can use them now. Create designated spaces for the things you choose to keep, making it easy to find what you need when you need it. The wonderful outcome is that you'll find your home becomes a sanctuary of peace rather than a source of stress, and you'll have more time and energy for the activities and relationships that truly matter. This transformation from accumulation to curation often surprises women with how much lighter and more peaceful they feel. I'm curious, which area of your home would feel most liberating to simplify? Let me know in the comments, and if these strategies are making sense to you, please subscribe so you don't miss more tips that can make daily life easier and more enjoyable. But there's something even more important you might be holding on to unnecessarily. Point 3. Fighting every family battle. This approach will genuinely change how you preserve your energy and maintain your relationships. Think about Margaret, a 74-year-old mother of 3 who felt responsible for solving every disagreement that arose in her extended family. When her adult children argued about holiday plans, she intervened to keep the peace. When her grandchildren had conflicts, she stepped in to mediate. Margaret believed that her role as the family matriarch meant she should fix every problem and maintain harmony at all costs. However, this constant involvement in family drama was exhausting her, and sometimes made conflicts worse rather than better. The wisdom-based truth is that not every family problem is yours to solve, and stepping back from unnecessary conflicts preserves your peace and often helps others grow. Research from family therapy studies shows that over-involvement in adult children's disputes can actually prolong conflicts and prevent family members from developing their own problem-solving skills. When you constantly intervene, you may inadvertently prevent others from learning to navigate their own relationships. By choosing your battles wisely and allowing others to work through their own issues, you model healthy boundaries while protecting your own emotional energy. How can you recognize if you're getting drawn into conflicts that aren't truly your responsibility? Reflect on your recent family interactions and notice patterns in how you respond to disagreements. Do you automatically feel responsible when family members are upset with each other? Or do you find yourself being asked to take sides in disputes between other adults? Perhaps you've noticed that family gatherings often become tense because you're trying to manage everyone's emotions, or you feel exhausted after family visits because you've been playing peacemaker. You might catch yourself losing sleep over conflicts that don't directly involve you, or feeling resentful that your efforts to help aren't appreciated. The peaceful news is that you can start setting healthy boundaries around family conflicts immediately, and this will likely improve your relationships with everyone involved. Practice responding to family drama with empathy, but not automatic involvement. You can say something like, "I can see you're both upset, and I trust you'll work this out between yourselves." Focus your energy on your own direct relationships rather than trying to manage relationships between other family members. When conflicts arise, offer support and love without taking responsibility for the outcome. The beautiful result is that you'll have more energy for positive interactions with your family, and they'll learn to respect your boundaries while developing their own conflict resolution skills. This shift from family referee to supportive observer often transforms family dynamics in surprisingly positive ways. But wait until you discover how saying yes to everything might be sabotaging your happiness. Point 4. Saying yes to every social obligation. This next insight will show you how protecting your time and energy can actually improve your relationships. Picture the experience of Melissa, a 72-year-old retiree whose calendar was packed with social commitments she felt obligated to accept. Every invitation to a church event, neighborhood gathering, or family celebration felt like something she should attend to, maintain her relationships, and stay socially connected. Melissa rarely said no to requests for her time, believing that being busy meant being valued, and that declining invitations would hurt others' feelings. However, she often felt exhausted and resentful, and paradoxically, she wasn't truly enjoying many of the activities she was attending. The relationship-enhancing truth is that selective engagement allows you to be fully present for the activities and people that truly matter to you. Studies from gerontology research demonstrate that quality of social interactions is far more important than quantity for senior well-being. When you're overcommitted, you can't bring your best energy to any single event or relationship. By choosing your social commitments thoughtfully, you can engage more deeply and authentically with the people and activities that align with your values and interests. How do you know if you're overcommitting yourself socially in ways that diminish your enjoyment of life? Examine your calendar and your energy levels after social events. Do you often feel drained rather than energized after gatherings, or do you find yourself going through the motions at events rather than genuinely participating? Perhaps you've noticed that you're saying yes to invitations out of guilt or obligation rather than excitement, or you feel like you don't have enough downtime to pursue activities you truly enjoy. You might catch yourself complaining about being too busy while simultaneously feeling unable to say no to new requests. The empowering reality is that you can start curating your social calendar immediately to reflect your true priorities and energy levels. Before accepting any invitation, pause and ask yourself whether this activity aligns with your values and whether you have the physical and emotional energy to participate fully. Practice declining graciously by saying something like, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I won't be able to attend," without feeling obligated to provide detailed explanations. Focus on nurturing your most meaningful relationships rather than trying to maintain surface-level connections with everyone. The wonderful outcome is that you'll have more energy to be fully present for the activities and people you choose, creating deeper, more satisfying social experiences. This transition from social people-pleasing to intentional engagement often surprises women with how much more they enjoy their social lives. But there's something even more fundamental you might be pursuing that's working against your happiness. Point 5. Pursuing perfection in everything. Now, for one of the most liberating realizations. This one is particularly powerful because it frees you from decades of unnecessary pressure. Let me share the story of Brenda, a 75-year-old hostess who spent days preparing for every gathering at her home. Every detail had to be flawless, The food perfectly prepared, the house spotlessly clean, the decorations coordinated, and her appearance impeccable. Brenda believed that her worth as a host and friend depended on everything being perfect, so she exhausted herself trying to meet impossible standards. Ironically, her perfectionism often prevented her from enjoying her own gatherings and connecting genuinely with her guests. The joy-restoring truth is that perfection is the enemy of presence, and your loved ones value your authentic self far more than your flawless performance. Research from positive psychology shows that people who embrace good enough standards report higher life satisfaction and stronger relationships than those who pursue perfection. When you're focused on making everything perfect, you're not fully present for the moments that matter. Your guests don't remember whether your napkins matched your plates, but they do remember how you made them feel and whether you were relaxed enough to enjoy their company. How can you tell if perfectionism is stealing your joy and preventing you from being present in your own life? Notice your stress levels when preparing for events or tackling projects around your home. Do you spend excessive time on details that others probably won't notice, or do you feel anxious when things don't go exactly as planned? Perhaps you've caught yourself redoing tasks that were already adequate, or you avoid hosting or trying new things because you're worried about not doing them perfectly. You might find that you're so focused on the outcome that you can't enjoy the process of creating or connecting. The freeing news is that embracing good enough can begin immediately and will likely transform your enjoyment of daily life. Start by identifying one area where you can lower your standards without compromising what truly matters. Perhaps accepting that a home-cooked meal doesn't need to look magazine perfect as long as it tastes good and brings people together. Practice being present in moments rather than managing them, focusing on connection rather than impression. Allow yourself to make mistakes and even laugh about them, showing others that imperfection is not only acceptable but can be endearing. The beautiful result is that when you let go of perfectionism, you create space for spontaneity, joy, and authentic connection with others. If you've ever noticed that your most cherished memories often involve imperfect moments that were full of love and laughter, you understand why perfection isn't worth pursuing. Let me know you're still with me by commenting "Freedom" below if this insight about letting go of perfection resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe for more guidance that can help you live your best life after 70. But there's something even more crucial that many women neglect after 70. Point 6. Neglecting your health because it's inconvenient. This revelation about health maintenance will show you why small, consistent efforts now can prevent major problems later. Consider the transformation of Emma, an 81-year-old woman who used to skip medical appointments because they were too much trouble and avoided exercise because it felt like work. She told herself that aches and pains were just part of getting older, and that there wasn't much point in being proactive about her health at her age. Emma chose convenience over health maintenance, eating processed foods, avoiding preventive care, and ignoring early warning signs her body was sending. However, when a minor issue became a major health crisis, she realized that her convenient choices had actually created far more inconvenience and limitation in her life. The empowering truth is that nothing is more inconvenient than losing your health, and small, consistent investments in wellness pay enormous dividends in quality of life. Medical research consistently shows that seniors who maintain proactive health habits experience better mobility, cognitive function, and independence well into their 80s and 90s. The choices you make today about nutrition, movement, sleep, and preventive care directly impact your ability to enjoy life and maintain your independence. While you can't control every aspect of aging, you have significant influence over how well you age. How do you know if you're prioritizing short-term convenience over long-term health in ways that could limit your future? Examine your daily choices and health habits honestly. Do you often choose processed or fast foods because cooking feels like too much effort? Or do you skip recommended medical screenings because they're inconvenient? Perhaps you've been ignoring persistent aches, changes in sleep patterns or other signals your body is sending because addressing them seems overwhelming. You might find yourself avoiding physical activity because it feels uncomfortable, or putting off dental care, vision checks, or other preventive measures. Here's the life-enhancing reality about prioritizing your health that can start improving your well-being immediately. Create simple, sustainable routines that support your health without feeling overwhelming. Perhaps preparing healthy snacks in advance, taking a short walk each day, or scheduling all your annual appointments at the beginning of the year. Listen to your body and address small issues before they become big problems, working with healthcare providers who respect your goals and concerns. Focus on habits that energize you rather than drain you, finding forms of movement and nutrition that you actually enjoy. The wonderful outcome is that consistent attention to your health will give you more energy, better mobility, and greater confidence in your ability to live independently and fully. This shift from health neglect to health investment often surprises women with how much better they can feel at any age. But there's another area where you might be tolerating something that's actually harmful to your well-being. Point 7. Maintaining toxic relationships out of obligation. This strategy will genuinely transform your emotional well-being by helping you invest your energy where it's truly appreciated. Think about the experience of Beverly, a 78-year-old woman who maintained a friendship with someone who consistently left her feeling drained and criticized. This friend, whom Beverly had known for over 20 years, had a habit of complaining constantly, making negative comments about Beverly's choices, and rarely showing genuine interest in Beverly's life or well-being. Beverly continued the relationship because she felt guilty about abandoning someone after so many years, and believed that loyalty meant enduring difficult relationships. However, this toxic dynamic was affecting Beverly's mood and self-esteem. The life-changing truth is that toxic relationships become more damaging as you age, and you deserve to surround yourself only with people who uplift and respect you. Psychological research shows that seniors who maintain positive social connections have better mental health, cognitive function, and even physical health outcomes. Conversely, relationships characterized by negativity, criticism, or emotional drain can significantly impact your well-being. At this stage of life, every interaction matters more because you have less time and energy to recover from negative encounters. How can you recognize if you're maintaining relationships that are actually harmful to your peace and happiness? Pay attention to how you feel before, during, and after interactions with different people in your life. Do certain relationships consistently leave you feeling exhausted, criticized, or diminished, rather than supported and valued? Perhaps you find yourself dreading phone calls or visits from specific people, or you notice that you need time to recover emotionally after spending time with them. You might catch yourself making excuses for someone's consistently negative or disrespectful behavior, or feeling like you're walking on eggshells to avoid conflict. The liberating news is that you can start setting boundaries or ending toxic relationships immediately, and this will create space for more positive connections in your life. Begin by limiting your exposure to people who consistently drain your energy, perhaps by shortening phone calls or reducing the frequency of visits. Practice responding to negativity with neutral statements rather than trying to fix or absorb someone else's problems. Remember that ending a relationship that no longer serves you isn't cruel, it's self-care, and it frees both people to find more compatible connections. The beautiful result is that when you remove toxic influences from your life, you'll have more emotional energy to invest in relationships that truly nourish and support you. This choice to prioritize positive relationships often becomes one of the most transformative decisions women make in their 70s. But there's something else you might be avoiding that could actually enrich your life significantly. Point 8. Avoiding new experiences because you're too old. This next insight will show you why your 70s might be the perfect time to explore interests you never had time for before. Picture the journey of Olivia, a 73-year-old retired accountant who believed that learning new skills or trying new activities was something for younger people. When friends suggested she join a painting class or learn to use a computer, Olivia would say, "I'm too old for that," or "You can't teach an old dog new tricks." She had convinced herself that her learning days were behind her, and that she should be content with the knowledge and experiences she already had. However, this limiting belief was actually preventing her from discovering new sources of joy and purpose. The possibility-expanding truth is that your brain remains capable of learning and growing throughout your life, and new experiences can bring unexpected fulfillment and energy. Neuroscience research demonstrates that the adult brain maintains neuroplasticity, the ability to form new neural connections, well into advanced age. Learning new skills, exploring new interests, and challenging yourself intellectually can actually improve cognitive function and contribute to a sense of vitality and purpose. The combination of life experience and new learning creates a unique form of wisdom and satisfaction that's only possible at this stage of life. How do you know if self-imposed age limits are preventing you from exploring enriching new experiences? Listen to the language you use when opportunities arise and notice your automatic responses to new possibilities. Do you immediately dismiss ideas with phrases like, "I'm too old for that," or "It's too late to start something new"? Perhaps you feel envious when you see other seniors trying new activities, or you have a list of things you've always wanted to try but keep postponing. You might catch yourself making assumptions about what's appropriate for your age rather than considering what genuinely interests you. The exciting reality is that you can start exploring new interests immediately, regardless of your age or previous experience. Begin by identifying something you've always been curious about, whether it's a creative pursuit, a physical activity, or an intellectual challenge. Start small with low-pressure opportunities like community classes, online tutorials, or informal groups where you can explore at your own pace. Remember that the goal isn't to become an expert, but to enjoy the process of discovery and growth. The wonderful outcome is that new experiences can bring fresh energy, new friendships, and a renewed sense of possibility to your life. This openness to new experiences often becomes a source of joy and pride that many women wish they had embraced earlier. But there's a modern reality you might be avoiding that could actually enhance your connections and independence. Point 9. Avoiding technology because it seems too complicated. This revelation about embracing helpful technology will show you how staying connected to the modern world can enhance rather than complicate your life. Consider the transformation of Mary, a 76-year-old grandmother who resisted learning to use a smartphone or computer because she found technology intimidating and overwhelming. Mary believed that these devices were too complicated for someone her age and that she could manage fine without them. However, her avoidance of technology was actually limiting her ability to stay connected with her grandchildren who lived far away and preventing her from accessing helpful resources and services that could make her life easier. The connection-enhancing truth is that technology, when used selectively, can increase your independence and strengthen your relationships rather than complicate your life. Studies show that seniors who embrace basic technology report feeling more connected to family, more confident in their independence, and more engaged with their communities. You don't need to master every new device or app, but learning to use a few key technologies can open up possibilities for communication, entertainment, learning, and convenience that weren't available to previous generations. How can you tell if technology avoidance is limiting your opportunities for connection and convenience? Think about situations where technology might solve problems you currently face or enhance experiences you value. Do you miss out on seeing photos and updates from distant family members? Or do you find it difficult to stay in touch with people who primarily communicate through text or email? Perhaps you're unable to access services like online banking, shopping, or telehealth appointments that could make your life more convenient. You might feel left out of conversations about topics that people research online, or find yourself dependent on others for tasks you could potentially do yourself with the right tools. The empowering news is that you can start incorporating helpful technology into your life gradually and at your own pace. Begin with one simple goal, such as learning to video call family members or accessing your favorite news sources online, and ask a patient friend or family member to guide you through the basics. Focus on technologies that solve real problems or add genuine value to your life, rather than trying to keep up with every new trend. Take advantage of classes specifically designed for seniors, where you can learn alongside peers who share your concerns and pace. The wonderful result is that mastering even a few basic technologies can increase your sense of capability and open up new ways to stay connected and engaged with the world around you. This selective embrace of technology often surprises women with how much it can simplify rather than complicate their daily lives. I'm curious, which of these insights about letting go of outdated patterns has been most eye-opening for you? Share your thoughts below, and if you found this helpful, please subscribe and ring the notification bell. Your engagement helps us reach more seniors who need this information. But there's something even more fundamental that might be holding you back from fully enjoying this stage of life. Point 10. Worrying about what others think of your choices. Now, for a particularly liberating realization. This one is especially important because it frees you from decades of people-pleasing that may have shaped your decisions. Let me tell you about Sophia, a 74-year-old woman who spent enormous amounts of mental energy worrying about whether her neighbors approved of her lifestyle choices, whether her adult children thought she was making good decisions, and whether acquaintances judged her appearance or behavior. Sophia would change her clothes multiple times before going out, hesitate to pursue interests that seemed different, and constantly second-guess her choices based on what she imagined others might think. This constant concern about external approval was preventing her from living authentically and enjoying her freedom. The freedom-bringing truth is that at 70, you've earned the right to prioritize your own happiness over other people's opinions, most of which exist only in your imagination. Psychological research shows that the fear of judgment often has more impact on our behavior than actual judgment from others. Most people are far too focused on their own lives to spend significant time evaluating your choices. When you stop organizing your life around imagined criticism, you can finally live according to your own values and preferences. How do you know if concern about others' opinions is limiting your authentic self-expression and happiness? Notice how much mental energy you spend considering what others might think before making decisions. Do you find yourself choosing clothes, activities, or even conversation topics based on what you think will be acceptable to others rather than what you prefer? Perhaps you avoid trying new things or expressing your true opinions because you're worried about being judged or criticized. You might catch yourself explaining or justifying your choices to people who haven't even asked, or feeling anxious about being seen as too old or inappropriate for certain activities or appearances. The liberating reality is that you can start living more authentically immediately by focusing on your own values rather than imagined judgments. Begin by making small choices based purely on your own preferences. Wear colors you love, pursue activities that interest you, and express opinions that reflect your authentic thoughts. Practice the phrase, "This works for me," when others question your choices without feeling obligated to justify your decisions. Remember that people who truly care about you want you to be happy, and those who don't care about you don't deserve influence over your choices. The wonderful outcome is that when you stop performing for an imaginary audience, you'll discover a new level of confidence and joy in being exactly who you are. This shift from external validation to internal satisfaction often becomes one of the most empowering changes women make in their 70s. But there's one more crucial area where outdated thinking might be limiting your peace of mind. Point 11. Avoiding financial planning because it's overwhelming. This insight about taking control of your financial future will show you why facing money matters head-on actually reduces stress rather than increasing it. Think about the experience of Isabella, a 77-year-old widow who avoided looking at her financial situation because it felt too complicated and overwhelming. Isabella had a general sense of her income and expenses, but hadn't created a clear budget, planned for potential healthcare costs, or considered how to make her money last throughout her lifetime. She worried constantly about whether she had enough savings, but never took concrete steps to understand her actual financial position. This avoidance was creating chronic anxiety and preventing her from making informed decisions about her lifestyle and future. The peace of mind truth is that understanding your financial situation, regardless of how much or how little you have, gives you power and reduces the anxiety that comes from uncertainty. Financial planning research shows that seniors who have clear knowledge of their financial position report lower levels of money-related stress and greater confidence in their ability to maintain their independence. When you understand your resources and create a realistic plan, you can make informed decisions about everything from daily spending to long-term care options. How can you tell if financial avoidance is creating unnecessary stress and limiting your ability to enjoy your resources? Pay attention to your emotional responses to money-related decisions and conversations. Do you feel anxious when thinking about your financial future, or do you avoid opening bank statements or investment reports? Perhaps you're living too frugally out of fear, missing opportunities to enjoy the money you've saved, or conversely, you might be spending without understanding the long-term impact. You might find yourself relying on adult children for financial advice without understanding the basics yourself, or avoiding important decisions about insurance, estate planning, or long-term care. The empowering news is that you can start taking control of your financial understanding immediately, and this knowledge will likely reduce your stress significantly. Begin by gathering all your financial information in one place and creating a simple list of your income sources, monthly expenses, and savings. Consider meeting with a financial advisor who specializes in senior needs to help you understand your options and create a realistic plan. Focus on understanding the basics rather than trying to become a financial expert, and don't hesitate to ask questions until you feel confident about your situation. The wonderful result is that when you have a clear picture of your financial reality, you can make informed decisions about how to use your resources to support the lifestyle you want. This transition from financial avoidance to financial awareness often provides a tremendous sense of relief and empowerment. But the final insight might be the most important of all for your overall happiness and well-being. Point 12. Fearing the aging process instead of embracing it. Now for the most important realization. This one is particularly profound because it can transform your entire relationship with this stage of life. Let me share the story of Virginia, an 82-year-old woman who spent years fighting against the natural aging process, feeling embarrassed about her age and trying to hide the fact that she was getting older. Virginia would lie about her age, avoid activities she associated with old people, and constantly focus on what she was losing rather than what she was gaining through her life experience. Her fear of aging was preventing her from fully engaging with life and appreciating the unique gifts that come with this stage of life. The life-affirming truth is that aging is not a disease to be cured, but a natural process to be embraced, and every year of life brings its own forms of beauty, wisdom, and possibility. Gerontology research demonstrates that people who have positive attitudes toward aging actually live longer, healthier lives than those who fear the aging process. When you embrace aging as a natural part of life's journey, you can appreciate the unique advantages of this stage, the wisdom that comes from experience, the freedom from many earlier life pressures, and the clarity about what truly matters. How do you know if fear of aging is preventing you from fully enjoying this stage of life? Notice your thoughts and language when you think about your age or the aging process. Do you apologize for your age or try to hide it from others? Or do you avoid activities because you think they're not appropriate for someone your age? Perhaps you focus primarily on physical changes and limitations rather than the growth and wisdom you've gained over the years. You might find yourself envying younger people rather than appreciating your own unique life stage, or avoiding social situations because you feel self-conscious about being older. The transformative news is that you can start embracing the aging process immediately by shifting your focus from what you're losing to what you're gaining. Begin by acknowledging the wisdom, resilience, and life experience you've accumulated over the decades. These are genuine achievements that deserve celebration. Connect with other vibrant seniors who model positive aging, showing you what's possible at this stage of life. Focus on maintaining your health and vitality while accepting the natural changes that come with age as part of life's journey, rather than personal failures. The beautiful result is that when you embrace aging as a natural and valuable part of life, you'll find new sources of confidence, purpose, and joy that are uniquely available to you now. This acceptance and celebration of aging often becomes the key to unlocking the deepest satisfactions of this life stage. Final thoughts. Looking back, these 12 outdated patterns reveal how much unnecessary stress and limitation we can carry into our 70s simply by continuing habits that no longer serve us. These insights aren't just about changing behaviors. They're about reclaiming your right to live authentically, prioritize your well-being, and embrace this stage of life with confidence and joy. The good news is that it's never too late to let go of what's not working and embrace approaches that actually enhance your happiness and well-being. You're not too old to make changes, and you don't need anyone's permission to live according to your own values and preferences. The choices you make today about how you spend your time, energy, and attention can immediately improve your quality of life. If you've recognized yourself in any of these patterns, know that awareness is the first step toward positive change, and every small shift toward authenticity is worth celebrating. Today, choose one pattern you're ready to release and take the first step toward replacing it with something that better serves who you are now. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share which of these insights resonated most with you, or tell us about a pattern you've successfully changed in your own life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you join us again in the next video.